Hey guys, I'm so sorry for the delay. There was a slight issue on my end. So yeah, but I guess we are still on time. So yeah, if you guys can hear my voice, just type out hi or hello or anything on the comment section, please. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. So yeah, if you can hear my voice, just type in a hi so that I can know that my voice is clear. Hey guys, can you all hear me? All right, awesome. So yeah, let's get started. So once again, I'm so sorry for making you wait for so long time, so much long time because there was a slight issue on my end and there was sudden power cut in our area because the weather outside is bad. I guess it's about to rain, but yeah, let's hope that this. Right now I have connected to my hotspot. I guess it doesn't get over anytime soon. But yeah, anyways, so let's get started. So today's topic is React. I'm not really sure on what background do you have, and not sure how much do you know JavaScript or React.js. But yeah, so I'll try to cover the basics of React, and after that we'll be making our own application. So as I always say that I always love hands-on coding instead of just discussing the theory or just writing the code myself. So yeah, so today we will be making the app, which is Pokedex app. If you guys love Pokemon, you are going to see something really wonderful. Let me show you. Okay. So yeah, we will be making this app. Uh, So yeah, it is really slow. Hotspot is really slow, but I'm so sorry for that. So yeah, basically this app we'll be making today, and this is a basic Pokédex. We can search for the Pokemons here, Bulbasaur, and yeah, just in case you're wondering why didn't we type this? So why can't we see the images for for Granbull and Snubbull? So yeah, basically, thing is we are using two npm libraries, and I have already extracted out the information so that you don't have to do much of the installation part. So yeah, I have the sort of list of objects ready for you. Of the data is ready. You don't need to install any big library or something. Just the create React app, and I'll provide you with the data. But yeah, so since these images are being fetched from the internet, so just to make it a little less internet consuming, I made this option that for the first 200 Pokemons, I'll show their images as well, and for the next all Pokemons, you won't see the images. So, but this again, I am giving you a homework. After this particular webinar, you will change this particular thing to, so right now as you can see in one go we are loading all the Pokemons. So you will have to change it to lazy loading. Let me tell you a little bit about lazy loading. Basically, lazy loading is something like, right now as you can see there are around 800 Pokemons, and 800 of them have the images. So basically we are taking to fetch their images, we are making 800 network calls, which is not at all, you can say it's very bad performance wise. So yeah, this basic Pokédex I'll be making with you, and your homework will be to add lazy loading to this, which will make, let's say, for you'll just load 10 Pokemons first, and then as you scroll down you'll load 10 more, and as you scroll down load 20 more, something like that. So I hope you're excited, and after the end of this webinar, I'll tell you a little bit about lazy loading as well. So first, let's just go through this Pokédex app very quickly. So here's a list of all the Pokemons. You can search the Pokemon. Let's say Charizard, and you can search like Raichu and something random. Yeah. So, and you can even select here, like let's say I select Pidgeotto, and it will show the details of Pidgeotto. Let's say Raticat, will show the details of Raticat. So I hope you're excited. If you are excited, let's just let me know in the chat that how is this application? Do you like it or not? And are you a Pokemon lover? Because basically I wanted to keep this webinar a two-way interaction, but YouTube does not allow more than one people to speak. Like they can allow if I add you all to the stream, but and that will be messed up totally. So yeah, just keep on commenting, keep on I'll be seeing the live chat as well. Keep interacting with me using the live chat, and it's gonna be so much fun. All right, so okay, I'll just make it full screen now. Awesome. I hope you like this application. If you like it, just give it a star. Madhavel MD/React Pokedex and star. All right. So yes, again, earlier I planned that I will host these slides to motherwell.tech/pokeppt, but then suddenly the power cut and all happened. So yeah, I have sent you the resources on the comments. Let me send you the resource link once again. So so you guys so that you can just download it. Please download it. I'll add it in the comment section as well. Resources. Yep, and I'll add it to the chat as well. So yes, I could not uh, make the shorten link, but yeah, you guys can still see. So I have added the link basically, and I know it's a little bit big link, but you can just click on on the chat live chat, and you can just download it. It will be a WinRAR file, which will have these slides, which will have the PPT and some boilerplate code. All right. So before we get started, just one last thing. I promise I'm not going to bore you after that. So yeah, just one last thing. Let me just remove this comment from here. Awesome. So I want you guys to, I really hope that you guys have Node.js installed on your system and you have a good text editor. I really hope that you are using VS Code, but yeah, it's your choice. You can use Sublime or maybe Atom. I use VS Code. Also, okay, so you guys can open your desktop and follow me. And in case you're not able to follow me anywhere, just stop me by putting a comment and let's just do it. So yeah, open your directory, any directory on which where you want to create your project. So just open the command prompt there using this, or you can directly basically what you need to do is click here and type cmd, or you can just go to your start and type cmd and then open it. Awesome. So after this, yeah, you need to just type in one command, npx create react app. I really know that you might be thinking what rocket science is this happening, but just trust me. After 5 minutes, everything will be clear to you. But I'm just talking. I'm just making you do this the first thing right now because this thing takes a little bit time because create React app is a little bit heavy dependency, and to download it, it takes a little bit of time. So yeah, just do it. Create React app and just the name of your app, which can be Pokedex or React Pokedex or something like that. So I have already done it, and just click enter. So yeah, something like React Pokedex, and just click enter. After you are done, you will see. So for me, the name of the app was SVCE webinar, and after you'll see that there will be a folder with the name of which you put inside after the npx create react app. After that, after you are done, just go inside that folder and open this folder in your favorite text editor. So I hope it's clear and it's not very difficult. So let's get back. And again, I really suggest you guys to follow the step first. Let me repeat it quickly once again. Go to a directory, open command prompt, and npx create hyphen react hyphen app and app name. Awesome. I guess it's there is this one command, and after you are done, you will see the app. A folder will be created with the app name which you provided, and just open that folder in your favorite text editor. For me, it is of course VS Code. Yeah, let's get back to our PPT. So again, I made you do that without any knowledge of React because I really want you guys to install the dependencies in the starting itself, so that we don't have to waste so much of our time, and you can follow along. So yeah, today's topic is React, and we'll be learning the basics of React by making our own Pokedex app. Awesome. So this to tell you that this link madhavvel.tech/pokeppt does not work right now. I will update it after this webinar. So just after this webinar, maybe in 10 or 15 minutes, I'll make this link. So for now, you can download the resources from the chat section, the link which I have provided. All right. Here you go. Okay, so I guess it's a little late to introduce myself, but better late than never. So yeah, I my name is Madhav Behel, and I thank you all for attending this webinar. It's Sunday evening. I know the weekend is about to end, and still you are here. I really appreciate you guys for that, and I will make sure that you guys do not go empty-handed. I will make sure that you guys learn a lot today. So it about me, you can say I'm just another guy who just tries to explore life as much as possible. I'm into tech blogging, I'm into development, self-help blogging, podcasting, mentoring, teaching, startup communities, and as I say, most of it still exploring life. All right, so before we start, again, this boilerplate code link does not work. What was the command? Hey Aryan, I'll just write the command right now once again in the chat section, and create React app and app name. Uh, okay, so this was our command. All right, so it's written here as well. npx create React app, React Pokedex. This is basically for me. For you, it can be app name. For you, it can be Pokedex. Anything, and just cd into that directory, and just type in npm start. I'll just do it here, npm start, or maybe yarn start because I like yarn more than npm. But again, it's your choice. Uh, let's wait it. Let's wait for it. It takes a little bit of time. All right. So again, this slide, I don't want to waste time, but I will definitely go through this slide because this is very important, and I keep this for the guys who are listening to me more than like it's for the guys who for whom it's not the first time they are listening to me. I guess you might be already aware of this, but yeah, why do we need meetups and webinar when you can learn everything on Google? So yeah, because you can find like-minded people and you can get a chance to discuss about new trends. That is more easy in physical meetups and conferences, but I want the same experience in the live webinar as well. So yeah. Whenever you have any doubt, whenever you want to discuss anything, just put on a comment, and trust me, I will make sure I get back to each and every comment right there and there. And yeah, so that we can connect with each other, just put on your maybe your LinkedIn profiles, and for every LinkedIn profile, just go and connect so that you guys can increase your network. And of course, as they say, network is the net worth. All right, so today's agenda is why React, basic concepts of React, architecture for our app. Let's start coding and deploying our React app. Awesome. So first of all, before doing anything, it's highly essential to know why do we do this? Why React? Why not? So I hope you are already aware with this. You might have done a little bit of homework before coming here that React is a library, a front-end library, which makes our life super easy as a front-end web developer. So, but why React? There are many tons of more frameworks like Angular, Vue, and many more. So why React? So first thing is React is amazing. Like once you start coding in it, you can never go back. So if in case you guys know, there's this thing called Vanilla JS, and so Vanilla JS means basic plain JS JavaScript without any framework. So yeah, once you explore React, you will never be able to go back to vanilla JS. React is so amazing. So yeah, first thing is fast learning curve. It has an amazing learning curve because you guys can. I'm not exaggerating and I'm not lying. I learned React in a single day, and I'm seriously not lying. And you reusable components. Basically, you can use the components which I create in my app in some other app which you guys create. So yeah, it's highly modular and fast render with virtual DOM. It does not, in case you are not aware with DOM, just I will not go through it right now because it will take a lot of time. But yeah, for guys who are aware what DOM is, React follows the principle of a virtual DOM. So let's say the things become very easy here. So all you need to do is update everything and it will automatically smartly figure out what all has been changed. And even if you re-render everything, only the things which have been changed will get re-rendered. So yeah, it makes the app very fast. And great dev tools, great developer community. If you have any doubt anywhere, you can just put up that doubt on Google or Stack Overflow, and you will definitely find help. So yeah, it has an amazing developer community of proper modularization, clean abstraction, and of course, the best thing, you will not be limited to web development after you learn React because there's this thing called React Native, React Desktop. React Native allows you to build iOS and Android apps using the web technology which is JavaScript. So yeah, basic concepts of React. The first thing is the most basic concept of the React is components. So as you can see, every website which we want to make can be divided into components which can interact with each other. So here's a simple screenshot. Let's say here's a chatting app. Here's so you can say the whole outline you can say as our app component, and the above thing you can say as our header component, and this comment form component, so and this comment list component, and the various comment can be the comment component. So yeah, React has this amazing thing which allows us to basically use these components, and we can reuse these components and modularize our apps into these components which can interact with each other. And one-way data flow. So yeah, we will be looking at this. This is the structure of our app which we will be making. So yeah, basically the React follows the principle of one-way data flow. We can only interact with our child elements, not sibling elements. So if you want to interact with, so yeah, this in this app we will be learning how to do that. So basically, whenever we click on a Poke list element, we have to update our Poke search result, which are two separate sibling elements. Let me just show you here. So this and this is separate components. They are sibling components because they share a common parent component. But then again, direct communication between these two is not possible. So we have to go through this and then go back to this. So yeah, let's say Blastoise, Butterfree, and Pidgey, and Pidgeotto. So yeah, basically this communication is not happening directly. It goes all the way up and then all the way down. Awesome. So one-way data flow. And before we start, just one more thing. So this might be a little confusing, but then again, we will come back to this. But yeah, there's this thing called life cycle methods in React. So basically, whenever we start our app, the first thing will be constructor will be run. So before we do that, let's have a look at our code a little bit. So as you can see, if you would have typed npm start or yarn start, you would have seen in your browser that this particular boilerplate app will launch. Awesome. Before we do that, let's just copy this boilerplate folder inside our app directory that we don't have to go again and again inside there. Awesome. I yes, awesome. Let's so I will before that let me just should I proceed. All right, so this was the basic things about React. It has components, it has React lifecycle methods. Don't worry, I will come back to that. Yeah. um So yeah, basically you must be wondering now, what was this npx create react app? Create react app, right? Okay, I'll just hide this comment right now. And let's go to the, so in case, again, in case you have any doubts anywhere, you can just go to this reactjs.org and see the tutorials and documentation. Of course, I always recommend guys to learn from the documentations. You, me, or nobody, or any random YouTuber can't teach you better than the original documentation. Documentations are the ultimate source of truth because they are written by the developers of this library. So yeah, go through the documentation as well. So yeah, let's come back to the create react app. So basically, to use react, we can directly use react by setting up some things like some compilers and many more things. But yeah, the setup is okay. So Aryan said that npx command is not working in cmd, showing not recognized. Do I need to install? Yes, Aryan, I guess you did not follow the prerequisites. So yeah, the prerequisite for this webinar was Node and a text editor. So yeah, as Ayush said, install Node first. You can just go to this website, which is nodejs.org, nodejs.org, and just download it from here and you'll be done. It will take 5 minutes at max. So yeah, just do it till the time I am discussing the theory. All right, so let's get back. Awesome. So basically we can set everything up from scratch, but it will take time. So that's why instead of using React directly, most of the people use this boilerplate called create react app, and it sets everything up for us, and so that we can directly code. It sets up the compilers and all. So yeah, the command for that was this basically. Awesome. So I guess I can just close it. Now I'll just quickly go through the file structure which create react app gives us. So awesome, Aryan. So Aryan has done the installation. So yeah, just type in that command once again, npx create react app, npx create react app and app name. Awesome. So let me just go through the uh, the boilerplate which React app gives us. So basically, there's this package.json which includes the information about our project. It includes the scripts. It includes the dependencies, which is basically React, React DOM, and React scripts. Of course, this is a limited webinar, and we have a very limited time, so I won't be going through each one of these. But then again, yeah. So you can say that this contains the information about the project. And then there's this public directory. In public there are the final you can say uh, javascript files, and the final html file will be placed. And there's the src directory which contains the code which we are going to write. So basically this code, this app.js and this index.js, let me show you something really interesting if you guys are new to react. So just open the source src and app.js and you'll see something really interesting. What the hell is HTML doing here in JavaScript? It's weird, right? Why is there HTML inside our JavaScript file? So it's because it's called JSX, and JSX is basically used. We can use HTML inside our JavaScript files, and make our. So basically, we'll be doing everything inside our JavaScript files, and we won't be touching HTML. Awesome. So basically, but the thing is, this JSX and these all these components, this header component, or like all these things, and this index has this app component. This app basically this is not a native HTML tag, right? There's no tag called app in HTML. We have created it, and the app is here. So native browsers do not understand JSX, so we have to compile it down to normal JavaScript. And so that's why if we would have not have used create react app, we would have to set everything up ourselves, which is babel and all. So yeah, just search about babel after this webinar. But yeah, so So yeah, once we are done and once we uh, deploy and build our app, it will get compiled down to a single JavaScript files in a file inside the public directory. Also, I hope that you are now able to understand these basic concepts, which were components, one-way data flow, JSX. And now let's come to three more basic things, which are states and props. So basically, let's say we need to store some data, we need to display some data, so we need to display all the Pokemon's data right here, right? So but this data can change, so any data which we need to render to our screen and which can change, we store it inside our state. Very simple definition, I'm telling in layman terms, I'm not going with the exact definition which is there. So the state is basically any sort of variables or constants, not constant, of course, variables, any data which we need to render on our screen, which can change with time. Let's say these Pokemons, these are changing with time, right? Say I type Bulbasaur, or let's say I type random AE, Peron, Mareep, and all. So yeah, this data is changing. So any data which can change with time and which we need to render to our screen is stored inside the state, and state is nothing but an object. So yeah, basically that was it. And props are used for communication between components. So basically, let's say this app component we have here in Pokedex is another component. Let's say we have to pass some data from app component to Pokedex component. We will do this through props. So using props, we can pass on the data to our child elements. And how? So basically, it will be very simple. Through from parent element to child element, we can simply pass on the data which you need to pass through. And the tricky thing here is the opposite, when we need to pass on the information from child to parent. In that case, we can pass a callback function in as our props, and which will get which will trigger from the child component and which will get executed in the parent component. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky right now, but yeah. Okay, so Madhav, the chat messages are saying popped up in your video. Chat messages are saying pop. I didn't understand it, but okay. What do you really mean? I couldn't understand it. All right, but anyways, let's continue to with our discussions. Yeah, I hope you are able to understand the basic concepts. The components are clear. Components are any components which we can divide our screen into. One-way data flow, only child to parent, not between siblings. JSX is basically HTML inside JavaScript. State, any data which we want to render on screen, which can change with time. Props is values which are passed from parent to child. And life cycle methods, the one last thing basically. So basically, React has some life cycle methods. So the basic concept behind React is whenever the state is changed, whole app gets re-rendered. But so like so yeah, in actual terms, only the changed things will get re-rendered. But yeah, the whole components will get re-rendered on all the depending, which are child components, will get re-rendered. So in actuality, only the changed things will get re-rendered to take care of the performance. But for our development purposes, we can think of it as the whole app got re-rendered, and we can do things accordingly. So yeah, basically whenever we launch an app, so constructor, since we will be using classes, constructor will be launched, then there will be a method which will be triggered. These all are method names. Component will mount is a method which says that we can write any code which we want to execute before our app renders on the screen. Let's say I refresh the screen and I want to find out all the Pokemon before our app gets rendered, right? So for that, I will write my code inside component will node. And then render is the part of code which will get rendered to the screen. Component did mount, and then while running, if the state is changed, so there will be a component will update and component did update. So yeah, I guess that was clear, but this will become more clear when we start coding. I know it might be really confusing right now, but I'm trying my best. But it trust me, it will become very clear when we start coding. Awesome. So let's get jump straight to the architecture of our app. Awesome. So this is the architecture of our app. Basically, this will be our index.js file. Basically, the main thing, and there only we'll be adding a head h1 tag for Pokedex, and this component, basically the outermost component, we will be creating. So yeah, this thing you might have noticed. Again, I'll tell you once again that we can create our custom components, which we can call just like we call the HTML tags, like Pokedex, Pokélist, search box, Pokecard, Poke search result. So all these things can be used just like HTML tags. So that's the beauty of React. And and awesome. So basically, let's just divide our app into components. So basically, we need to modularize our app as much as we can. For that, we divide into the smallest possible components. And yeah, so first component, the most parent component will be this, the whole thing, which will be which will be uh, this basically the app, and then this Pokédex container will be our Pokédex component. Inside that, we can divide it into two parts. One will be Poke list, and the other one will be Poke search result. And inside the Poke list, there will be two children. One is the search box, and other is the Poke card. So there will be multiple instances of this Poke card. So this is just as it's shown in this particular flowchart. The app will have one child, which is Pokédex. Pokédex will have two children, PokeList. The left will is PokeList, right one is Poke search result. And PokeList will have two children. It will have many children, but yeah, overall two, because one is search box and one is Poke card. And there will be multiple instances of Poke card, as many Pokemons we are there. So finally, let's get started with the coding part, and I'll take a break of 1 minute here. I really need to drink water. So yeah, till then you can just set things up in case you were not able to run the command. Here you go. It's npx create react app and your app name. Go inside the directory and then open it with your favorite text editor. For me, it's absolutely VS Code. So yeah, I'll give you a minute to do that. Awesome, guys. So I hope you were able to follow along. Let's jump straight to the coding section. And just to give a little more excitement, after this webinar, you will have that app deployed on your own custom URL. So just like I have this motherwell.tech/Pokedex private, you will have your own URL. I guess that's pretty exciting, isn't it? Okay, so let's get started with the code. Awesome. So first of all, as I said, so we need to discuss proper working directories. So yeah, for this, as you can see, there's a public directory in which we all our compiled code will be stored. So we do not need to change it manually. And index.html, as you can see, we will not at all touch index.html. We'll just change a few things inside index.html. So yeah, before we start, just open the index.html inside the public folder and just change the name in the title. If you must be familiar with the HTML code, change it to Pokedex, and just change the description here. My Pokedex. I guess you are able to see my screen. I'll just make it full screen once again. All right, so yeah, and just one last thing, go inside your boilerplate code and index.html and copy this particular line, which is our font. I will be using this Press Start 2p font, and this is the font, basically this font. Otherwise, it will use this particular font, which is not suiting our application here. So yeah, just add this font here. This is basically a Google font, and there's a CDN. You might be aware of what CDN is. And guys, once again, if you I'll go a little bit slow during the code because I want you guys to follow along. And in case you have any doubt, you can just come back to this webinar anytime you want. It will remain on my YouTube channel, and you can follow along whenever you want. And again, just I'll if you guys are not understanding or if you guys are confused anywhere, just throw a message on the chat, and I will make sure that each one of you understand everything. So yeah, awesome. So till now we have just changed one line in HTML, and I will try my best to go as slow as possible. All right, so in SRC, basically the first thing, let me just go through this app.js. So index.js basically has this React DOM.render method in which we are basically rendering our app component. And basically this app component is, so we right now we have two types of components. One is functional component and other one is class component. So if you guys just go to the the website of ReactJS, you will see there are two types of components. First one is a simple class-based component in which we create a class for each component. So just like we have classes in Java, I know that's a pretty bad example, but then again, yeah. So we have classes in JavaScript as well. So this class must extend React.component, and whatever we return from our whatever HTML we return from our render method inside this class will be displayed on screen. So let me just quickly remove this logo from here, and this logo is removed. So as you can see, we can just, why did it not update? So basically I removed the logo, and we can change it as we like. So awesome. So it will show, it will live reload, hot reload. So I guess you are understanding now. So basically this, whatever we return from the render method will get displayed on screen. And the second one is a little more easier component, which is the functional component. They don't have shown, they haven't shown it here, but yeah. So this is basically a functional component in which we do not need to basically store our data in which we don't have any state. We can have a simple stateless functional component, which is nothing but a function which returns some HTML file. And just one more thing, whatever you return must be wrapped around a single div. You can't return multiple tags from once. So at once from a single functional component or a classful component. So everything that you return should be wrapped around in a div tag. Awesome. So I guess we are clear here. So let me just quickly change this to before we go, I am call it OCD or whatever you call it, but I need my project structure to be perfect. So yeah, so as you can see, this index component, app component, they have just placed it in a single directory. I do not like it. So yeah, what I do, it's just my okay. So Nilesh is saying, could you please increase the font size of the code? Yes, sure, Nilesh. Why not? Awesome. Okay. This is, I guess this should be fine. So much big font, it's going to be trouble for me, but then again, it's fine as long as you can understand. Okay, so let's get back to what I was saying, that basically I do not like everything haphazard. So yeah, I create this is the full directory structure, project structure, which I recommend. There are multiple directory structure, you can have your own, but I recommend this one. I have a separate folder for all my components, and inside that component, let's say the first component is going to be Pokedex. So inside that Pokedex, I will be having my file, which will be Pokedex.jsx. Basically, this is JavaScript XML, JSX file extension. You can have it normal JS file extension as well. It's totally up to you. So basically, some people love having styles in one folder and components in other folder. This is what I prefer. It's components and particular component, and there will be style, which will be Pokedex.css, and so one folder will have one particular you can say component along with its style. So we are going to have another component as well, as I show you, which will be pokey list. Inside pokey list, again we can create our file pokey list.js, and we can have the css file pokey list.css. Okay, so before we go, let's just move this app.js and app.css inside our components, because app is also a component. Is awesome. So okay. As you can see, now our app will break, and let's see what happened to it. So it failed to compile because inside the index.js, we are not able to find this. So index.js is trying to import the app component from its relative same directory. So let's just update the relative address here, and components slash app. So now it should pass. Awesome. The build succeeded here, and the best thing about it is that you can see the live reload. Whatever changes you make, you will see on the screen. Awesome. And okay, so let's just go back. So before we go further, I want to use my boilerplate. So basically, this is not a CSS webinar. So I have CSS ready for you. I'll try to go through the CSS styles very quickly, but yeah, I won't be coding the CSS. I will only be coding the JavaScript inside the HTML inside the JavaScript, which is that JSX. So yeah, all this boilerplate contains nothing but these styles. And forgive me that I'm not showing you the styles, but yeah, it's in the best of interest of the time, because this is not a webinar to discuss CSS. Awesome. So index.css also, we'll just take the index.css from our boilerplate and replace it with the index.css in the src. Okay. So as you can see now, the font family changed to this particular thing, and we have our little background color. Awesome. So we are good to go now. And one last thing. So this app is right now a simple functional component. I do not want it to be a simple functional component. I Okay, so Sahil said that where will you save this video? It will be saved on the same address, Sahil Madhav Pahel dot tech slash react. So you guys can access it anytime you want, even after we are done with this webinar, using this particular address, madhavpahel.tech slash react. Awesome. So we will be converting this functional component into a class stateful component, which is our class component. So yeah, we are importing right now React from React. Apart from this, we will be importing one more thing, which is component. And just to change it very quickly, I will just remove all of this here and replace it by h1, which is our Pokedex. So as you can see now, Pokedex is visible on our screen, and we are one step closer to our final app. Isn't that amazing? Awesome. So let's just cut it out from here, and let me just change the tabs to 4 space. I really hate 2 spaces. It's so difficult to understand. But yeah, again, awesome. So let's change it into from a functional component to a class-based component. To do that, we just need to change it to class and then remove these parentheses and extends. So basically, every component should extend component, which we can directly see as react.component, or since we are importing it here, so we can directly use it component. So as I said you, every classful, every stateful component needs to have a constructor because we are going to save our state in it and super, and then we will be having this dot state. So I will just do this later on when I will explain you what this is doing. Just ignore this warning. It's saying basically that it's a useless constructor because now we are not doing anything with it. So just ignore this warning for the time being. And then we can create our render method. So basically our render method, whatever our render method returns will be displayed on the screen. So right now it's returning just a h1 tag, which is Pokedex div. So we are back here. So that's as simple as that. Our functional component was converted into the class-based component. Isn't that amazing? Awesome. And guys, just a little update. If you guys are wondering why my VS Code is looking so amazing, so colorful keywords and it's really looking nice, right? So I wrote a blog recently. I'll just send you the link. Is madhavell.tech/VSE. Okay, just go to this link madhavell.tech/VSE. I mentioned all the VS Code extensions, plugins which I use, and I am really sure you are going to love this blog. And I'm really happy that I just wrote this blog 2 days ago, and it has crossed 6,000 views. And thank you so much, guys. And I'm really grateful. So yeah, I have mentioned all the plugins which I use here. So after installing these plugins, maybe your VS Code might look like this as well. So yeah, enough of the promotion. So forgive me for that. And coming back to our app. All right. So next thing is we need to get our data. Where will we get the data of Pokemons? Don't worry, I have that ready for you. Inside your boilerplate code, you have a folder named data, and inside that you have Pokemon data.js. So basically, this is the data which I have compiled, prepared for you. It contains the name and information and the images of each Pokemon. Isn't that amazing? It's such a big file. So yeah, all we need to do is directly copy that data folder and place it inside our src directory. And yeah, we are done. Awesome. So now we need to import that data from the from the data folder to our app.js file. So how to do it? It's as simple as that. Just import. What do we need to import? We need to import the okay. So the variable name is Pokemon data, and since it's not a default export, I'll just put it inside the curly braces, and from dot slash we need to put a relative path here, dot slash data slash Pokemon data. Awesome. So now we are done, and we need to have our data before our screen renders, right? So we will again, here comes the life cycle method. So we need to fetch about the information about each Pokemon before our screen renders. So we will use a method called component will mount. So basically I guess it's self-explanatory, right? Component did mount says that it has already been mounted, and component will mount will say it is going to mount. And so yeah, let's just use component did mount because I do not need to slow the app experience here, because if we use component will mount, it will run before the render method. And in case the file is big, it will take a lot of time to basically fetch that file, and we do not want to make our users wait, do we? Because if we make our users wait, they'll just go away from our website. And I'm telling I'm being satirical here because I made you wait 10 minutes before starting this webinar. I'm really sorry for that, but then again, it was my fault. So yeah, I'll just use component did mount. Awesome. And inside the component did mount, I will just let's say for now, I'll just console.log, just log the Pokemon data dot. It is, as you can see, it's an array of objects. Let's say the 0th element, and let's just log this one only. Awesome. So let's open our DevTools. Awesome. So yeah, let's put uh, message also, custom message. First Pokemon. So first Pokemon, as you can see, we were successfully able to get the Pokemon. So if, as you can see, I just rendered the first Pokemon. So we are now sure that we got the data of all Pokemon. So that's one more step close to our app, and that's really amazing, right? So now as let's remember what I told you in the beginning. What is state? What is state? Basically, a state is any data which we want to render on our screen and which can change along with time, right? So let's store this inside our state. Is dot state equal to, so state is just an object. If you are aware of JavaScript objects, state is just an object. Yeah, I will name the key as Pokemons, and right now I'll just, so inside the constructor, I will just set it as empty array because I don't have the data inside the constructor, right? And apart from that, let me just put a few more properties, which is search field. I will get back to it that why are we putting this, and the selected Pokemon. And I will create it null. So why did I do this? Even if we don't do this right now, it doesn't matter. But then again, I am just looking one step into the future. Why do we need this? So basically, we need this because we need to store whatever we type here, whatever we type like Bulbasaur, right? We need to store this inside our state because according to this particular text, we need to display these particular elements. So I need to state this as well to a store, to our state. So that's why I am having this search field component, search field property, or you can say key inside our state object. And the selected Pokemon, this is basically whenever we click that, we need to select a Pokemon, right? So for this particular thing, we need a selected Pokemon. Bulbasaur is so cute, right? I'm really impressed by. Let me search Pikachu. Pikachu is the cutest. Okay, so I'm really tired, but we are just started right now. I think we should be able to complete it within 30 more minutes. So guys, hang on and try to follow. In case you have any doubt, just let me know. I will clear your doubt at that particular moment. So please utilize, please value that I am spending my time as well just for you guys. So utilize it as much as possible. In case you have any doubts, just write on the live chat. Awesome. So let's get back. So this, then again, you might be thinking now what to do? Inside this component did mount, we need to update our Pokemons with this Pokemon data, right? So should we do something like this? This dot state dot Pokemons equal to Pokemon data. Shouldn't that be good? No, that's not good. Uh, that is not at all allowed. Basically, the state we do not directly mutate our state. We use this method provided to us by React, which is set state. So we use this dot set state. Inside that, we put our new state. So our new state will have Pokemons, Pokemon, and we can just, I guess, move this to a single line. So I am a little bit sad with you guys because no one asked me why should we not directly directly mutate this state object. It's just an object, right? Just a variable. It's just a JavaScript object. So why can't we just directly mutate it? And why do we need to use set state? So even if you did not ask, it's my job and I need to answer it. So basically, we are using this because whenever we call this dot set state method, our whole app will get re-rendered and change the and update our screen. So do not consider this as a warning, and I will even write it on the chat screen. Uh, do not update state object directly. It's considered a warning because it might break your app. So yeah, do not update the state object directly. Use the set state method instead of that. Awesome. So now we have the Pokemon data in our state, and that's really amazing, isn't that? Awesome. So let's quickly move one step forward and start making our Pokedex application. So inside our Pokedex, first thing again, let's just let's just copy the styles from Pokedex. Hey guys, I'll just wait for a minute here, and I want you guys to tell me: are you guys able to follow here, or is it just I'm just speaking and you are listening? Just be frank. That are you guys able to follow, and or am I going very slow or fast? I'll just wait for your response. Okay, guys, I'll not wait any more. So yeah, in case you have any doubt, please feel free to write in the chat because I really want to solve each and every doubt of yours. And because you are spending your time as well, right? So make sure that you learn something from this webinar. So yeah, anyways, let's just continue. Awesome. So coming back to it, we need to update our styles, right? Pokedex.css. Let's take these styles from the boilerplate Pokedex.css, and I'll just copy and paste it from here to here. So these are some basic styles which you can understand yourself as well. But yeah, I'll just go through them once more if you guys if you want. So yeah, let's now start making our Pokedex app. So it might be the very first component which you are creating yourself. So are you really excited for that? I am. So yeah, import, first thing is we need to import React from React. Awesome. And now we need to import our styles, of course. Import our styles, we can directly use /css. And now so just a little bit information. Basically, only our app.js was a stateful component. So all others will be the functional components. Let's create export const. Why are we using this keyword export? Because we need to export this particular constant and use it somewhere else, right? So yeah, okay, Dex. So you might be wondering, why are we keeping first letter capital of our file and of our variables? So yeah, it's a naming convention that all our JSX components will have the first letter capital. Awesome. So let's get started. And I know you guys must be wondering what the hell is this props. Just bear with me. Basically, these props are the values which will be passed from our app when we call it to our child element. So that for now, just let's keep this and just bear with me for now. And let's say I will uh, return a div tag div, and I'll give a class name. So for the guys having knowledge in HTML, for the guys having knowledge in HTML, you might be wondering why is it called class and class name and not class? Because so basically class you can't just use class here, right? Because class is already a keyword in JavaScript. So you can't use class. So very cleverly, the creators of React changed the class keyword, class property to class name. So yeah, in the HTML, what is class? In React, it is class name. So we need to create our container class. Let's just give this container so that it it is able to have these stylings. And inside the container, let me just quickly have one more, basically two more elements, and I will give them the class name of. So yeah, as you can see, the left hand side is PokeList container. So I'll just give it the name PokeList container. Class name PokeList container, and another div which I'll be giving the class name to what should I give? Poke search result container. Awesome. So yeah, till now, if I just save it, let's see what. Can you guess what will you see on the screen? You will see nothing. Why was there no change in the screen? Why? Because we did not include that particular element inside our app.js, right? So we need to have it here inside the render method. So after h1, I will just put my Pokedex and I will close it. And of course, why is it showing error? Because Pokedex is not defined. We need to import it as well, right? So just import it, import. It's not a default export. In case you guys are not aware about default exports and normal exports, you can just Google anytime default exports in JS. Yeah, Pokedex from slash Pokedex slash Pokedex. So now we should see something on the screen. Hopefully, 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 yes, it's there. Awesome. So our outline is ready. And let me just quickly go through the styling as well. So basically here we have a class name Pokedex container in which we have a little bit of styling, the background color, margins and all, and the display flex. And in the Pokedex container, I have this background color and some things like this. So pretty amazing, right? So we are much more closer to our final app, and that's really amazing. And just a little this information. I know the time was 5:30 to 7, but I'm really sure it's not going to end on 7. So yeah, since I started a little 10 minutes late, so please stay with me till 7:15. Can I ask 15 minutes extra? In case you have, please stay with me, and it will be really amazing. And we are going to have a lot of fun building this app. So yeah, I'll try to wrap up in next 30 minutes. Let's see how much we can do. Awesome. So Pokedex container. So our Pokedex component is ready. Now what do we need to have? We need to basically pass on the data to this Pokedex. How can we do that? Now comes our props into the action, and that's the amazing thing. So basically, inside the app, we have Pokemon stored inside the state. So how can we pass on to the child element, which is Pokédex, using props? It's very simple, just like HTML properties. Okay, so I just got a new comment. Let me see. Can you please explain me what's the use of converting a functional component to a class-based component? So yeah, it's very simple. I converted it because I needed to use states. So in a class-based component, we can use states. So if anyone has a little experience in React, he would say here that that you can do it in functional components as well, right? Not natively, we can use hooks like use states and all. So that's a little bit of advanced concept, React hooks, which we can maybe discuss sometime else. So yeah, basically to I since I wanted to use state and our lifecycle methods here, like component did mount, and after this I'll be using component did update as well. So yeah, since we needed to use these lifecycle methods, and since we needed to use this state, I created this class-based method instead of this functional method. I hope that solved your doubt, Tarun. Awesome. So okay, so let's just move on to how can we pass on the data from the parent component to child component. So it's going to be magical. Just stay focused. I'm going to do something really magical. And what I'm really going to do is I'm going to pass on my Pokemons as props, just like we pass on properties in HTML elements, like this. This dot state dot Pokemon. So inside a JSX, whenever we need to pass some data from parent element to child element, we use this particular syntax. This thing will be available inside our Pokedex using using let's just use this console.log and props. So basically, this particular thing, Pokemons, will be available inside the props object. So we can access it using props.pokemons. And then again, let's just uh, display the first Pokemon. Okay, so let me just uh, render with display text also. First Pokemon. Awesome. So as you can see, I expected this. First Pokemon right now it shows undefined and then it shows this. Can you guys think why is it happening? Since we are lacking time, I really want you guys to think about it a little bit. But yeah, I'll tell you myself as well. So basically, whenever the app got rendered, this got called. So since I used component did mount instead of component will mount, so this render method will be called once, and after this render, so at that particular time, the Pokemons will be null. So that's why it is undefined. And after this is rendered, after it is mounted, this component did mount will run and it will update our Pokemon state. And then since we are using set state, whole app will get re-rendered and then this render method will get called again. And now the Pokemons will have some value. That's why the first output was undefined and then we had the data here. How pretty amazing, right? I really love React. And now, since if you guys are aware with JavaScript destructuring the ES6 syntax, I can directly extract out my Pokemon inside from this. Instead of using props, I can directly use this. Awesome. So I can delete this props. And we can see it did not break. It worked as we expected. So I just changed this from props to extracted out the Pokemon's props. Let's just remove this log statement and let me show you some magic now. So basically, these curly braces inside our JSX components are used to basically use inside these JSX. We can pass on variables. We can use our JavaScript methods, right? So I am going to do something really interesting. Just hang on, just hang on for a while and if you guys are not much into JavaScript, it might be a little bit, you can say, new to you, but then again, it won't be very scary. Just trust me and stay with me for a while. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is inside our curly braces, I am going to iterate over each array element of Pokemon and display the name on the screen. How? So inside our curly braces, we can now use JavaScript. Inside of JavaScript, I will use, since Pokemon is an array of objects. Just let me remind you, it's an array of objects. So it has access to all those array elements, array methods, which is one of them is map. So using the map array method, basically map, what it does, it is iterate over each element and returns the value. Okay, so Pokemon so this Pokemon, which it's we could have like it's you can see it's something like a for loop, but something better than that. So yeah, so we are iterating over each element, each Pokemon, and now this is an arrow function syntax in case you are not aware. I could have used this syntax as well, function Pokemon and then this, but I really don't like this old function. I really love this new arrow function syntax, so I will use this. And now, what I'm going to do is return p tag, and inside that p tag, since again I need to use. If I would have used some random text, it will make this text rendered as it is on the screen. But I want some variable, right? So I will use this variable Pokemon dot name. That's it. You're going to see a magic here. In that magic. Okay, so we are one more step closer to our final application, and it's really magic. It's so amazing, right? We are able to do this. But now, uh, let's say we do like we don't need to. We are not making our app limited to the names only, right? We need to display the images of the Pokemons as well, and we need to have this very let's say beautiful cards here, which have some effects like this, which can grow when we hover over them. So for this, I will be creating a new component and I will be passing this value to the components. Awesome. So inside this, before that, since you can see, it's not just these arrays, these names. We need to have the search bar as well. So I will make a container component for them first. So how to do that? Just make it uh, list. Yeah, we already have list, right? So just copy the styles again. I'm so sorry that not I'm just making you copy paste code. I really hate copy pasting code, but yeah, then again, it's not a CSS course. It's not a CSS webinar. So yeah, then again, just copy and paste this pokylist.css contents from boilerplate to our pokylist. So basically, inside the components, I have one folder for Pokedex, one folder for Pokylist, and we will make. Let's make one more folder for Pokecard, one more folder for search box, one more folder for Poke search result, right? What was the spelling? Poke search result, awesome. So yeah, okay, I'm really tired now, but we will go on. So Poke search result. As of now, these are just empty folders. So search box. Yeah. So we need to have a sort of you can say wrapper around a container which can contain both of these elements, right? So just to remind you, this was our poke poke list container, and then inside the poke list we'll have search box and we will have poke cards. So let's just make poke list very quickly. So import again React from React, and very quickly we will import the CSS for that, which is /list.css. And I'm going to again make a functional component, export const, going to be poke list. And again, I'm going to take the props here, and I will just, let's say I will return the some div. And since now again poke list, inside a poke list, we have this class name. Let's give it a class name as well. Awesome. And let's just give it a h1 tag saying hello. So now we need to include this poke list inside our Pokedex. So what we are going to do, should we comment out this code for now? Are you guys having any problem with it? I don't think so. Okay, so I will just include the Poke list here. So you can see it's a feature in my VS Code. I know my VS Code rocks. So I just directly imported PokeList and it added this import statement on its own. So it's magical. I love VS Code. So as you can see, now it will have hello rendered on the screen. So let's just decrease this to tag. So now we have a container in which we can put our search box and our Pokemon cards. So without any further delay, let's do one thing. Let's quickly, instead of uh, passing the using the Pokemons and this map here, let's pass it down to one more level. Let's pass the props Pokemons to the child element. Again, let me show you the, so here we have the Pokemons inside the state of app. From apps as props, we are passing the Pokemons to Pokedex, and from Pokedex, we are passing it to PokeList. Isn't that amazing? So again, I am going to do some more things very quickly. So yeah, let's let's include the Pokemon here. And let's say, just to check whether the things are working or not, I will add Pokemons of zero dot name. It should show Bulbasaur, right? Oh God, it was not able to show. Let me think. Let me see what's wrong. Pokemons of zero. Let me just quickly go through what happened. Um, okay. So Pokemons is Pokemons. There is nothing wrong with it. Okay, let's revert it back to our hello and just quickly console.log Pokemons. Let's see what happens now. So yeah, these things will happen while you create your React app. So you should be able to debug the app as well. So yeah, as you can see now, I am having the Pokemons uh, with me. So that's pretty amazing. Right? So as you can see, in total we have 807 Pokemons, and that's really amazing. So yeah, since we have the array list of Pokemons, let's move one step further. Let's create these particular cards as well. Yes, we are on time. We still have around 20 minutes. So yeah, you guys don't need to worry. I will be finishing it very soon, and you will have the app launched on your website. So let's create the Poke card. Inside the Poke card, let's create a new method. The same steps. Poke card.jsx. Let's again import React from React, and then same thing. Let me just create a Poke card.css, and let me take those styles from the Poke card.css here and just paste it here. So are you guys able to follow? If in case you have any doubt, please feel free to comment on the live chat, and I will be really more than happy to solve the doubts for you guys, because I'm here. I'm spending my time to help you guys, and I really want you guys to value your time as well, so that after you go back from this webinar, you know at least how the React works and how can you build your own React app. So yeah, we just included the styles. It's again, I have these styles ready for you. Okay, so now what we need to do inside the Poke card, let me take a rest for a second. Really tired speaking so much. Till the time you can just follow along in case you missed something. Awesome. So yeah, it's a little tiring, but yeah, it's fun, right? React is always fun. Import. Again, we are going to import our CSS files. which is pokecard.css, and then again the same old steps: export, const, pokecard, and I'm going to take props, and I'm going to create an arrow function, and I'm going to return a div having class name of of pokecard.css. It's pokecard, yeah, of course it should be pokecard. Pokecard. Awesome. So yes, so basically now, as you can see, let's just now let's integrate this functionality. So going back inside our Poke list, just to remind you, this particular container was our Poke list, and these are our Poke cards. So inside our Poke list, we can now, instead of having this p tag, we can directly have a Poke card, and my VS Code is amazing. It imported it for me so that I don't have to do so much work. And I'll just pass on these Pokemons to one more level. So you might be thinking, Mother, why are you passing it to 3 levels down? Because I need to keep it as modular as possible. Because this Poke list needs to have a search box as well. So I'll pass down the Pokemons from app to Pokedex to Pokelist and to Pokecard. Not to Pokecard, only to Pokelist. And from Pokelist, I'll be calling each and every. Okay, Rupa Shri is saying I don't have all files as you have in boilerplate folder. Okay, that's really weird. Just wait. Okay, let me fix it in just 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. I'll make a new link. I'm really not sure why is that happening. And that way I will be able to rest a little bit as well. I'm really tired speaking. Okay, let me create a boilerplate.ar. Awesome. The boilerplate is done. And let me create a new drive link. I hope you guys are not getting bored. In case you want to have any discussion, or if you want to have any doubts, you can utilize this time till the time I'm creating this link. Hi Rupa, I don't worry. I am creating a new link with the new with all the elements in the boilerplate. Just wait 30 more seconds, and I will share the new link with you. Awesome. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Yes, just one more minute. Where is it? The boilerplate. Boilerplate. Awesome. Found it. Get shareable link. Awesome. Link sharing is on. And let me just test this link once again so that you guys don't have to wait any longer. Awesome. So I'm done creating the new link. So yes, let me just give it in the chat section. Uh, uh, uh. So as you guys can see, I have posted the new link in the chat section. Just download it very quickly. So yeah. So this should contain all of this. I'm not sure why the previous boilerplate did not have any, and I'm really not sure why was that. Maybe it was some fault on your end or maybe my end. But yeah, now we can continue basically. So where were we? So basically, I passed on the Pokemons from app to Pokedex to Pokélist, and now I have access to uh, Pokemons inside my Poke list. So what do I need to do now? So one thing I can do is I can pass all the Pokemons inside my Poke card, and let's say say maybe console.log here, so that just to check either I am getting the value or not. Oh, and props dot Pokemon of 0 maybe. Yeah, it should work. It should work ideally. Awesome. So as you can see, I have. So everything is working very fine now. So now I'm going to do that magic which I did earlier one more time. So if you did not understand it that time, here's your chance. Don't miss it this time. So I forgot to hide this comment. Really sorry. So yeah, this is the new link. Drive. In case you're wondering what's the new link, just download it. And let's continue. Okay, so in case you missed out that magic which I did earlier, one more chance I'm giving it to you. Awesome. So I'll be opening curly braces, which allows me to write my JavaScript code here. And since Pokemons are nothing but the array of objects, I can basically use the array methods here, which is map. Inside map, I have access to each Pokemon, and inside each Pokemon, I can basically, what I'll do is uh, just think what I'm doing. Just listen to me. So this might be a little bit confusing, but yeah, let's go back to our Pokemon data.js. So as you can see, the sprites, basically the sprites value is a stringified value. So we can't directly use it because it was a nested object. So I stringified and then stored it. So we need to parse it first. So how to parse that? Let me just quickly use sprites. Let me just set the sprite to null, and then inside the try catch, just in case maybe it does not have a sprite, so that our code doesn't break. So let's just do it sprite equal to JSON dot parse. In case you're wondering what it is, basically for the objects, for the JavaScript object, whenever we need to store them to the file, we can do that after stringifying it. So it will be stored in form of string. So, and while using it in our JavaScript file, we need to do parse it again. So let's just parse it again. Pokemon dot sprites. Yeah, so it's sprites. Awesome. And then we need to have, so basically in the sprite there are two types of sprite. Is just this image. So there are two types of images. One is this gif, which is sort of moving Pokemon, and one is the stable Pokemon. So I'll just use a normal one, sprite equal to sprite dot normal. So even if you did not understand it, just ignore it for now, because it's nothing internal to JavaScript. It's basically how I have stored the data. So just know that inside this Pokemon data, I'm storing the sprites as stringified object, and inside that there are two values, normal and animated. So I'm using the normal one. I'm fetching out the normal one basically. And once I'm done with that, I need to do that return uh, what I will do is, so let's say if there was no sprite, so I don't want to return anything, right? So I will use a ternary operator here. So I'll just check whether Pokemon dot name is there. So if it's null, it will act like a faulty value, and this will not this will get to the false one. So yeah, I will now return a Poke card. And inside the Poke card, let me just pass very quickly the, let's say, the name into the Pokemon dot name. So So as you can see here, let me just show you once again. I guess I just maybe this should have it. Okay, so basically this object for each Pokemon we have height, ID is default, name, order, sprites. So sprites is basically again a stringified object, right? So we need to parse it, and then there was name and all those information. So yeah, let's just pass the Pokemon name and the sprite as sprite, right? Awesome. And in case that was null, so it basically that's a ternary operator. In case we do not have any Pokemon name, we'll just pass on null here, return null. Awesome. And let's go inside our Pokecard now. Inside our Pokecard, since we are having two things, name and sprite, so let's just destructure it again. Name and sprite. And inside our name, what we can do is let's I'm going to do something maybe very quickly, but then again just hold on to me for a second, like just hang on. Basically, I'm going to include two things: one image tag and one p tag. So how? That's normal. That's normal HTML. And what all attributes does it have? The class name. For the class name, basically it is Pokedex, no Pokecard. Let me just go through the Pokecard.css once again. Okay, so it was Pokemon Sprite. I'll just copy it from here. So since we're using the boilerplate code, awesome. And the SRC, let's have some alt text as well. Maybe Pokemon, in case the image does not load. And SRC, this might not be new to you because you might be already aware of all these properties in your HTML. So basically, this sprite will have an image address. Let me just open it in a new tab and let me just show you how it is. And let me just copy it, and basically this URL will is having the image hosted on it. Awesome. So I hope I'm not going too fast and you are understanding everything. Awesome. So let me just close this again. Okay, so inside the SRC, we can directly put the sprite, and that should be it, right? And one more p tag. P tag should have our name. Again, we can't directly use this because it will be used as a static text. We do not need static text. We need to have our name here. Awesome. So magical. It is going to happen. I'm sure. Let's just hope. So first time it will be a little bit slow because it is making 807 API calls, and that's really very bad performance wise, really bad. So that's why I'm telling you that after you are done with this, just go after once this webinar is over, uh, do change this to lazy loading. So yes, it should not load all the images at once. It should do the lazy loading. What exactly is the meaning of lazy loading? It should display 10 Pokemons first, and then as you start scrolling, it should fetch 10 more. As you scroll down more, it should fetch 10 more. Just like in your WhatsApp, whenever you open WhatsApp, if you scroll down if you scroll down very fast, you will see that it will show loading and then it will load more chats. So yeah, that's basically they don't want to load all the chats at a single time, right? So they will use it slowly, very slowly. So as we scroll down, they should these Pokemon should be fetched to improve our performance. But to improve our performance right now, since I can't like I don't want my hotspot to get over, and I do not want really to make 807 network request every time I reload it. So yeah, I will just change it to a little bit. I will just so all right. Even before that, I need to discuss one more thing. So as you can see here, we are getting a warning that each child in the list should have a unique key prop. Yeah, whenever we have multiple children inside PokeList, we are using this map method to have multiple PokeCard children, right? So in this case, we need to have a key so that our React can distinguish between each particular element, each particular child. So how do we do that? So basically we need to pass any unique thing. It can be any number or a unique name. Since the name is also unique, I could have passed down the name as well. It's completely your wish, but ID seems to be more appropriate to me. So I'll just pass the Pokemon ID, and you will see that error will disappear now. That warning will disappear. And once I'm there, so I'll just pass on the property explicitly as well because I need that inside Poke. I need to have it for some other reasons as well. Let me just tell you. So yeah, to improve our performance a little bit, I will uh, I will do one thing. Like I'll just say if the ID, I'll just have the ID as well. If the ID is less than equal to let's say 400, we'll just load 4 or maybe 200 Pokemons. If it's less than 200, we will display the image. Otherwise, we'll just display no. We'll just display the name. Now, as you can see, for the first 200 Pokemons, it will make the network call to fetch the images, and after that, it will not fetch the images. So it's pretty magical, right? It's pretty amazing, and the UI also looks pretty clean. So far, so good. And now, as you can see, we are almost done with our app. Let's just add those two functionalities as well: the search bar and the the search result. So adding the search bar very quickly. Okay, search box. Let me create a new file, search box.jsx, and a new CSS file, search box.css. Awesome. So let me take the CSS from the boilerplate, and where's the boilerplate? Search box.css. Okay, I'll just take these styles and put it here. Awesome. So there was a spelling mistake in the box. Let me just rectify it very quickly. Search box.css, and our old common methods are like all same thing basically. We need to import React, and we need to have those functional component. So how do we do it? Again, very simple, from React, and then import the styles slash CSS, and then we need to create export const search box, not this one, with capital letter. Make sure that's the first letter is capital, and inside this it will again have props, and after that we need to basically display one input, and that input should have the class name of search because we are putting the styles, the search box styles on search. This class name should be there. I'll just close this. Okay. And then type, just like in HTML, type equal to search, and placeholder. We can keep it search and on chain. So basically, this is our this magic is what I'm going to do right now. But before that, let me just return it. I forgot to return it. Maybe since we are not using, let me just show you one more magic. So inside the arrow function, if we are trying to make a one-liner, we can directly return it here. So isn't that magical? I really love JavaScript. Awesome. So let's include this search box component inside our Poke list. Inside our Poke list, the first thing should be search box, right? And then there should be the Poke cards. So I'll just import it, search box, and it's done. And VS Code again, it takes care of my imports. It's such a lovely editor. So let's be okay. So it's loading. Awesome. So as you can see now, we do have this thing, but it's not really working, right? How to make it working? It's a big question. So how to make it working, right? So we can basically make it working. But let me just go back to this data flow diagram. So right now we are having the search box and Poke cards as a sibling components, right? Because they are the children of same Poke list component. So how do we communicate between them? We can't communicate between them directly. We will just make a callback method which will get triggered inside our app, and then we will, using that callback, we will update the state to. So basically, based on our search, we will make a callback to app, and based on that callback, it will update the state. And after the state is being updated, it will again update the number of Pokemons, and then Poke cards will be displayed. I'm going to show you something really magical now. So in case you are having any doubts, please ping on the chat section. So yeah, something really interesting is going to happen right now. Okay, so where should I start it? Let me just do something really interesting. Let me pass on. Uh, should I start it from? Let's just start it from the. Let me make a method inside a base app component. Okay, so I want to handle this all these set state things inside our app only, right? So I'll make a function here very quickly. Let me make it handle search, handle cookie search, handle cookie search, and let's keep it to uh, maybe console.log. Hello, awesome. So what I need to do is I will pass on this function. This will act as a method which will get called inside our search box component, but it will get triggered here. So isn't that amazing? So I'll just pass it as my props here itself. Handle search equal to this one. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so what is it saying? Handle search is not defined. Handle Poke search. Why is it? Okay, so this dot Poke search. Forgive me for that. That was a very lame error, but yeah. Okay, so Pokedex. Going back to the Pokedex. Now we need to destructure handle this as well, and we need to pass this again in our Poke list component. So I hope I'm not going very fast in case you are having any doubt. So basically what I did was I created, so the beauty of props is it doesn't only restrict us to the variables or the data, we can also pass data methods as props. In this case, I'm creating a method named handle Poke search, and then I'm passing on to Pokedex. From Pokedex, I will pass it on to my Poke list. Let me remind you the structure from Pokedex to Pokelist and Pokelist to Pokecard. Awesome. So, search box, not Pokecard, search box. Yeah. Okay, let's go inside Pokelist and okay. So let's destructure that again. Okay, and now we need to pass this handle Poke search to one last thing, which is search box. Box and handle Poke search. Awesome. Okay, so now React has some synthetic events. So you might be aware of on form submit, on change, on submit, all of these things. So these are native to JavaScript and HTML. So yeah, but React has its own synthetic events, which is similar to HTML events. So here, in this case, we will be using on change. So all, as you can see, all these things on change capture, on click capture, these all are React synthetic events on copy. So you can do millions of things using these things. So there are infinite these. I'll just use on change, and inside on change, basically, I will get my event. So event, I can use it as event, or let's just call it E. And basically, I'll get that as a parameter inside a function. So let's quickly do it. And as of now, I won't use, let me just include destructure the handle Poke search as well. And then on change, let me just show you what happens in console.log whenever we change any value. Input maybe, yeah, I'll just pass on the event. So yeah, it will just log out the event. Awesome, let me just very quickly go to it. Okay, so as you can see, I typed A, B, so this input is showing the synthetic events. So this E is the event. It has many different properties, and what we are interested in is this property named target. Okay, target. So and target basically will have a value. So let's just display the E dot target. You're going to see something very interesting happening here. Okay, so let's just search A, B. So yeah, as you can see, now we get the whole input, all this basically the whole input tag. As we type, we are getting it. Right? So this is really amazing. So what we need is inputs value, not input tag. So we'll just add on a value here as well. Okay, we are almost done now. We are almost done. It's really amazing. So as you can see, now I will get the value. As you can see, I can, whatever I'm typing, I'm getting inside logs, right? So it's really interesting. Awesome. So, so now is the main magic. So as I showed you, this handle Poke search was defined inside our app component, which was passed as props to Pokedex, to Pokelist, and to search box. And I will call it here inside my search box. I will pass on the value e.target.value. And as you can see, this will get triggered inside our Poke, inside our app only, because it was defined inside the app. So inside the app, where we really have the access to state, we don't have the direct access to states in the child elements, right? So here we can set state and do what not. So yeah, let's just alert what was the value, right? Okay. So let's just alert the value, search value. Okay. As you can see, we are passing on the value inside the handle Poke search, and you can see as we type, it will show an alert here. A, then AS, then ASR, then let's change it to hello, HELLO. So isn't that amazing? So every time, every single time we write a single letter, this handle Poke search will get called. And we will be doing one simple thing here, one very, very simple thing here. We will be changing this state search field. So that's why now you might have known why I added this search field here. So I will change the state. I'll use this dot set state to search field. I will set it to search value. And now I need to filter. I need to filter my Pokemons. So as you can see, nothing really happens. All the different things which I did, it did not do anything, right? So yeah, I need to change my Pokemon as well. To do that, we will do a very simple thing. Okay, so basically I will use the filter method of JavaScript, which is again JavaScript method. So uh, JavaScript is really, really amazing. So what I'll do is I will destructure the Pokemon list and the search field from this dot state. So in case you're not aware with the ES6 syntax, this is basically equivalent to saying this const Pokemon equal to this dot state dot Pokemons, and const search field is equal to this dot state dot search field. So this is a shorthand notation for this. We call this destructuring, and this was introduced in ES6, and it's really, really amazing as it makes the code much more readable and short. So yeah, I really love this. Okay, now let's make a variable called selected Pokemons. Pokemons, yeah, or maybe Pokemons, not selected Pokemons. Let's make it a little more good naming convention. Yeah, it will be searched, right? Searched Pokemons. I'm really bad at naming. I am really bad at naming, but yeah, it works. Okay, so basically what I will do is I will filter out the Pokemons using the filter method. So basically we need to pass a method which should have a condition, and whenever that condition is true, we will pick up that element, otherwise we'll leave that element, and a new array list will be formed. So it will again have access to that particular Pokemon, and I will create return. And again, how am I going to filter out? I am going to filter out based on whether the search field is included in the name of that Pokemon or not. But the first condition is that name should exist. So I'll again use a ternary here, Pokemon dot name, and if the name exists, I will do this thing. I will use this Pokemon dot name dot to lowercase. Basically, why am I doing to lowercase? Because I need to make it case insensitive, because one can type capital Bulbasaur here, right, as well. So in this case, as you can see, even if I type Charmander in capital or something like this, C capital, H capital, then it should work, right? So we should not make it case sensitive. So I will just check this, and then I'll use again inbuilt method, which is includes. Basically, which it will check that the name of the Pokemon includes our search field. That's very simple, search field, and then again two lowercase. So I need to have this two lowercase checked in the name of the Pokemon as well, in the search field as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if it in case the Pokemon name does not exist, I'll just directly return false here. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and trust me, there's just one last step remaining and we will be done. Now, instead of passing all the Pokemons inside our Pokemon, we'll just pass search Pokemons. Let me just tell you what happened here. Earlier, we were passing all the Pokemons in our PokeList container, but now instead of passing all the Pokemons to Pokedex, we will only pass the filtered Pokemons. Now you're going to see a magic. It's really magic. So now our functionality, this functionality is done. Isn't that really, really, really amazing? Now we need to add just one last functionality, which is by clicking here, we should get this. Okay, so in the interest of time, I will do that very quickly. Just give me 9 more minutes. And if you guys don't understand this particular section, you can again come back to this video and then see it. So how am I going to do it? I'm going to do it very, very, very similarly to how I did this one. Again, we will be having, let me just go back to PokeSearch. PokeSearch will be a sibling element to PokeSearch result, basically, will be a sibling element to our Poke list. And then let me just create a new element here. PokeSearch result. Let me rename it. And let me create a new file. Again, all those same things. First letter should be capital, and the file extension is JS. JSX will also work. Okay, and let me create a new file. Let me just directly copy the file this time. From the boilerplate, we have Poke search result, and then we can directly copy it to here's the SRC. Let me just close a few of these files. Okay, it became cluttered a little bit. Okay, Poke search result. Okay, here it is. So we have these files basically. Now this is somewhat similar to the card. So basically we need to have this card, right? So what we are going to do here is we need to somehow, whenever someone triggers, so this is not even a sibling relationship, right? This is something something parents brothers relationship, because whenever we click on Poke card, we need to update our Poke search result. So I am going to do something very similar to what we did in the first. Let's just make our Poke search result. How do we make it? Again, those simple steps: React from React, and then again the stylings, import /, Poke and then the same old const Poke search result, and then drops, and then again, yeah, and then I will return a div having a class name of Poke search result card. Let me just copy it from here. Awesome, guys. I'm really, really tired right now, but yes, let's just do it. Okay, we can do it. This is just one last thing. Okay, so what basically do we need to do is we need to show these results whenever the app, whenever someone clicks on our Poke card. So you might have guessed correctly. So we need to make some changes in Poke card, right? Let's open Poke card. And inside PokeCard, we need to have this one simple thing, one really simple synthetic event, which is on click. So on click, let's just play around with it a little bit. Uh, what it will do is let's console.log console.log, yeah, let's console.log the name of the Pokemon, right? So or maybe let's alert the name so that we don't have to see those warnings. Okay, alert. So whenever I click Bulbasaur, let's just refresh. Okay. So as you can see, so we have the access right now. Whenever we click, we can do anything because we have the name. So we have the access to Ivysaur, we have the access to Venusaur and Charmander and all those things. So yes, I know it's pretty late. Just hang on with me for 10 more minutes, guys. And it's going to be really, really interesting because now you are going to see how using props, we can transfer the data not only to siblings, to parent elements and all those things as well. So let's go back to our main app component, and inside our app component, you guessed it very, very, very correctly. We will be making another method. Let's call it handle click. Inside our handle click, we can have, again, we can pass on the name, and let's just do the same thing. Alert name. And now we need to pass it on again. We need to pass it on to Pokedex and then to Poke search result and then to all those things, right? Yeah, so let's pass on. Okay. Oh, it's really, really time consuming, but then again, it's fun, right? Okay, I forgot this dot. I'll click once again inside. Let's go inside Pokedex. Inside Poke list, I need to have this again. And let's destructure it. Inside Poke list, I need to pass it on this time to Poke card. And okay, let's destructure it again. Awesome. So inside the Poke card, now we have the access to the handle click method, and let's just replace this alert by handle click. And now you will see the magic. Now the handle click is getting called inside our app component. So whenever I click this, same thing happens, but this time this alert is coming from our, let's just change it to from app component. Isn't that amazing? Let's just let it reload from the app component. And now we have won almost 90% of the battle. And now this thing is really, really, really easy to do now. So basically now we need to find out this. Now here comes in action the selected Pokemon from our state. So let's just update the selected Pokemon. How? We need to find out the selected Pokemon from the list of Pokemons. How we can do it? Let's first destructure the list of Pokemon from our state. Pokemons and equal to this dot state. Awesome. Just hang on for 5 more minutes and selected Pokemons. Yeah, selected Pokemon. Should be Pokemons. Then again, as you can see, it's an internal array method dot find, which makes our life very, very easy. Pokemon, and it will find the first instance where Pokemon dot name matches the name which we are passing through the argument. So it will return the first element inside the array which passes this condition, and then we can use the set state again. Select Pokemon. Awesome. That's really, really interesting. And one last thing again, we need to pass the selected Pokemon as well, right? So that is this dot state dot selected Pokemon. Awesome. So, and now inside Pokedex, we can again destructure it from here. And we can, but this time we need to pass the selected Pokemon, not inside the Poke list. We need to pass it on here inside the Poke search result. So let's just include that Poke search result. And again, my text editor helps me a lot. And this is pass on the selected search Pokemon. Before that, let's just move it on here instead of that. Oof, I'm really, really tired right now, but it's going to end in another 5 minutes, and it's going to be really amazing. Okay, so inside, not really inside the Poke text. Yeah, so that should be it. So basically, I just remember that I added the search component inside the my Poke list. We could have done that inside our Pokedex as well. It's completely up to us inside our Poke list container. So yeah, it's totally up to you where you want to pass it. Yeah, you can just move it out here. Let's see whether this is working or not. Uh, okay, I guess I'm doing some change at the last moment, but yeah, it does. I wanted to just show you that we can use the search box here as well. And let's just remove this for once here. Okay, this should work. It should work. Awesome. So again, everything is working, right? Let's just search world box or okay. Okay, so getting back to the Poke result. So what do we need to do here? Okay, so first thing is we need to either we can directly call the Poke search result, or but the thing is that selected Pokemon initially will be null because right now we do not have any selected Pokemon. So what we can do here is we can again use a ternary operator, selected Pokemon, and if selected Pokemon is not null, which will make it true, then we can make it Poke search result, and then we can just use the Okay, guys, I guess we are back now. I'm really, really sorry for that. The internet connection really is really bad here. And so yeah, so only for 3 or 4 minutes is remaining, maybe. Yeah. So just give me 2 more minutes. Awesome. So I guess you guys can see the screen now. All right, so where were we? So inside the Poke search result, we can now do one thing. We can use this show result. We can pass. So basically, the selected Pokemon can be null at first. So based on the show result crop, we can find out what we actually need to show and what not. So yeah, in the name we can say selected Pokemon dot name, and in this so yeah, something like that, right? And inside the false condition, okay, search result, and in here the show result will be false. Awesome. So this was the last thing that we were doing. Awesome. Let's just quickly go inside the Poke search result now. And we are here. So yeah, we can just destructure the props again, show result, and based on show result, we can, again the ternary operator, we can pass on a div showing maybe the name p, which will be the name. And again, since we are passing the name, we need to destructure it here as well. And here we will pass an h2, since we know that selected Pokemon will be null only at the beginning. So we can basically write a message, welcome to the Pokedex. And as you can see, let it load. So it shows welcome to the Pokédex. Isn't that amazing? And just one last thing remaining here. We need to show the sprites as well. So to show the sprite again, we need to parse it, right? So we were using json.parse, if you can remember. So going back to the Poke search result, which was being used in the Pokédex. In the Pokédex, I will just go through the sprite equal to, I will use json.parse, and inside this I will use selected Pokemon.sprites, and inside that sprites I will use the animated sprite. So this, and let's take in a few more values like id, selected Pokemon.id, and similarly we can have height, JSP, and height, and maybe weight. Let's just show the weight here as well. And I guess these many properties should be enough. And then finally we can render it here. So basically, if the show result is true, we can then again show the image, which is sprite, and class name will be again Pokemon animated sprite, and the alt will be, we can say that again Pokemon alt text, and src will be this time sprite, and the sprite is coming from our destructured values, and maybe we are getting id and height and weight. So guys, finally we are done now. Okay, so let's just display the id. id is id, and name, okay, the name is name, and this one last thing, height and weight. Okay, height is height, and weight is weight. Awesome. So guys, this was the final change finally, and we are done now. Okay, last moment. Okay, what was this? Unexpected token. Oh, I did not close my image tag, so since I'm doing it in a hurry, these things happen. Don't worry, it will pass. It will build, and it's done. So let's test it out. Let's test out our application. So let's. Awesome, guys. So it's working. So that was it, and we are pretty much done now. Uh, okay, so yeah, we are basically done now. Let's keep this. Let's keep for 5 minutes for doubt now. So yeah, Tarun asked that, is there any difference between using export default and the way which you default? Yeah, there's a way. Like if it's an export default, we do not need to put in a curly braces, and Moreover, one JavaScript file can have only one default export, and apart from that, you can read more about the export types on Google. Just search on Google the export defaults versus normal exports. Yeah. All right, guys. So that was it from my end. And if you guys want to see it in action once more, I'll just show it to you guys once more. This is a Pokedex app, and now we can search. Let's say Bulbasaur, Snubble, Granbull, Bulbasaur, and we can just simply use so yeah, since Vaishnavi is saying to make it Sinisage and Illuminate. Yeah, but I mean, so there are so many Pokemons out there, and we can search any one of them. Pikachu is my favorite. Let's just awesome, guys. So that was pretty much it from my side. I'll just wait for 2 more minutes in case you have any doubts. Otherwise, we can conclude the session. If you have any doubts so far, just let me know, and I'm here. And in case you are not comfortable asking me right now, you can connect with me on email, on web. My website is madhavvel.tech. My GitHub handle is github.com/madhavvelmd. On LinkedIn, you can find me using Madhavvel, and Instagram is the Lean Programmer. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for attending, and feel free to reach out whenever you want. And I know that this webinar went a little big, but yeah, that topic was really big. So yeah, and there was some connectivity issues as well. So yeah, that was pretty much it from my side. I'm here for 2 more minutes. In case you have any doubt, feel free to reach out. All right, guys. So I guess you guys don't have any doubts. So thank you so much for attending. And just to remind you that this link is not working as of now. I'll update it. And after 30 minutes, maybe you can find these slides on motherfile.tech/pokeppt. Thank you so much. I'll just end the session right now. That was it.